Imagine standing in front of a structure that is 480 feet tall, built 4,500 years ago, and still standing with unbelievable precision. Now imagine, inside this massive pyramid, there is a sealed stone door, a door that no human being had seen for 4,500 years. When scientists sent a robotic camera inside the pyramid to explore a narrow shaft, the robot suddenly stopped. In front of it was a stone slab. But this was not just an ordinary stone. This stone was hiding a 4,500-year-old secret behind it. Scientists made a bold decision. Instead of turning back, they decided to drill a tiny hole through the stone. A camera was inserted through that tiny hole, and when the camera looked on the other side, the world was shocked, because what they saw, no human had seen for 4,500 years. So the question is, what is hidden inside the Great Pyramid? Who built it? How did they build it? And most importantly, why did they build it? Tonight, we go inside the Great Pyramid of Giza to uncover the truth. Egypt, a land of ancient mysteries. Today, there are over 130 pyramids in Egypt. They have survived earthquakes, storms, wars, and thousands of years. But among all of them, one pyramid stands above all: the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is the largest, tallest, and most mysterious pyramid ever built. Height, 480 feet. Base area, 31 acres. Stone blocks used, 2.3 million. Weight of some stones, 50 tons. Total weight, about 6 million tons. To put that into perspective, the pyramid is so big that 9 football fields can fit inside its base. And the most shocking part, this was built 4,500 years ago, when there were no machines, no cranes, no electricity, no modern tools. So how did ancient humans build something that even today would be extremely difficult? This brings us to the first challenge. Challenge 1, perfect direction. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly to the north, south, east, and west. Today, to achieve this level of accuracy, we use compass, GPS, laser measurement tools, satellite technology. But 4,500 years ago, none of this existed. So how did they do it? Modern researchers believe that ancient Egyptian engineers did not look at the ground. They looked at the sky. They used stars to find true north. Specifically, they used polar stars. By tracking the movement of stars in the night sky, they were able to determine true north with incredible accuracy. In fact, modern measurements show that the pyramid is aligned to true north with an error of only 0.05 degrees. That is more accurate than many modern buildings. Think about that. Ancient people, using stars, built one of the most precise structures on Earth. But direction alone was not enough. Before building the pyramid, they faced an even bigger problem. Challenge 2, leveling the ground. The pyramid stands on 31 acres of land. If the ground was even slightly uneven, the pyramid could collapse or tilt. Today, we use laser leveling machines. But what about 4,500 years ago? Researchers believe Egyptians used a very simple but genius method. They dug small trenches around the construction site and filled them with water. Water always finds its level. By marking the water level across the entire area, they were able to make the ground perfectly flat. Some historians also believe they used a simple tool, a wooden frame with a rope and a hanging stone in the center. If the stone hung perfectly in the middle, the surface was level. Simple tools, but brilliant engineering. And because of this, the pyramid's base is level to within just a few centimeters across 31 acres. That is an engineering miracle. But now came an even harder challenge. Challenge 3, cutting the giant stones. The pyramid is made of 2.3 million stone blocks. Some stones weigh 2 tons.
some weigh 15 tons, and some granite stones inside the pyramid weigh 50 to 80 tons. But here's the problem. Granite is one of the hardest stones on Earth. Even today, cutting granite requires diamond blades, powerful machines, industrial tools. But ancient Egyptians had no steel tools. So how did they cut granite? After decades of research, scientists discovered something surprising. The Egyptians used copper tools, but not pure copper. They mixed copper with other materials to make it harder. But the most interesting method was this. They used a toothless saw. Yes, a saw without teeth. They placed sand and small stones under the saw, and as they moved the saw back and forth, the sand slowly grinded the granite. It was a very slow process. Experts estimate that cutting just one large granite block could take up to 4 months. 4 months for one stone. This pyramid was not built quickly. It was built with patience, planning, and unbelievable human effort. But even after cutting the stones, another massive problem remained. The stones were cut 250 kilometers away from the pyramid site. Some of them weighed as much as 3 buses combined. So the next question is, how did ancient Egyptians transport 50-ton stones across the desert without trucks, without machines, without roads? And even if they somehow transported them, how did they lift those stones 480 feet into the air? Because what researchers discovered next was even more unbelievable. Challenge 4: Transportation Mystery. For many years, historians believed the stones were dragged across the desert using wooden sledges. But in 2014, archaeologists discovered something very important. They found an ancient Egyptian drawing that showed workers pulling a large statue on a wooden sled and a man standing in front pouring water on the sand. This discovery changed everything. Because when sand is dry, it creates a lot of friction. But when sand is slightly wet, friction is reduced by up to 50%. This meant fewer people were needed to pull massive stones. Scientists tested this theory and confirmed that wet sand makes heavy objects easier to pull. So the Egyptians were not just strong, they understood physics. But dragging stones across the desert was only part of the journey. Researchers now believe the Egyptians used the Nile River as a natural highway. They transported stones on large wooden boats through the Nile and canals that went close to the pyramid construction site. In fact, in 2013, archaeologists discovered an ancient papyrus called Diary of Merer. This diary belonged to an Egyptian worker named Merer, who was part of a team transporting limestone blocks. In the diary, he wrote that they transported stones from Tura to Giza using boats through the Nile Canal system. This is one of the oldest written documents in human history, and it proves that the pyramid was built by organized workers, not slaves as many people believe. So now we know. Stones were cut far away, transported by boats through the Nile, dragged on wet sand to the site. But now comes the impossible part. Challenge 5: Lifting the stones up. How do you lift a 50-ton stone to a height of 480 feet without cranes? Even today, this is difficult. So how did ancient Egyptians do it? The most accepted theory is the ramp theory. Researchers believe Egyptians built massive ramps made of mud bricks, limestone chips, and sand. There are 3 main ramp theories. 1. Straight ramp. A massive straight ramp going from ground to the top of the pyramid. Problem: this ramp would have to be longer than the pyramid itself and would require more material than the pyramid, so many scientists think this is unlikely. 2. Zigzag ramp. Ramps going up the sides of the pyramid in a zigzag pattern. This would require less material and make pulling stones easier. 3. Spiral ramp. A ramp that wrapped around the pyramid like a spiral. This is one of the most popular modern theories. Workers would pull stones up the spiral ramp slowly, level by level. Recent discoveries show remains of ramps and post holes near pyramid sites, supporting the ramp theory. But lifting stones was not just about ramps. It was about organization. Researchers estimate that around 20,000 workers worked on the pyramid, not 100,000 as earlier believed. These workers were engineers, stone cutters, transport workers, rope makers, boat operators, surveyors, food suppliers. This was not just construction. This was a mega project, like a modern-day mega construction project. They even found workers' villages, bakeries, fish processing areas, and hospitals near the pyramid site. This shows the workers were paid, fed, and medically treated. This was a national project. But now we arrive at the most mysterious part of the pyramid, because the real mystery is not outside the pyramid, it is inside.